Hi, I'm Kat. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking a little bit about how I'm combating my writer's block and how I'm getting back into writing after a long hiatus of not writing for many, many years, and what I'm doing to start writing again. So I'm doing the 75 hard-ish challenge to motivate myself to just be healthier in general, but also to get back into my creative pursuits, mostly of writing. So what I found is that I start writing, and first of all, it's just so hard to come up with what I even want to write about. I found some prompts, and those are helpful. There's been some words on page from that, but a lot of the time, there's like all this pressure for even unknowingly for that story or that personal essay to be the story, which is ridiculous because this is just for practice, but you know, brains are doing weird brain things as they do. So I've started writing, and then I think I have an idea or a point of view that I'm working to get across, and then, you know, a few paragraphs in, or sometimes even a full page, and I kind of lose where I'm going because there's all this pressure in my head about well, this needs to be the story, and then I start editing as I'm going, which is again not helpful. So I'm kind of getting in my own way a lot by putting all this pressure on these stories and personal essays needing to be the thing that I publish or turn into a book, or like I start writing a story and I don't know where it's going because I'm just basing it off of a prompt, you know, to get back into writing something. And I get a little ways into it, my brain stops me and it's like, well, I don't know where the next chapter is going to go, which I don't have a chapter, as I just came up with this idea to start writing this story just now. But I kind of get in my own way because I don't know where the story is going. So I think to help with that, will just be more practice. Because with the 75 hard-ish challenge that I gave myself, the goal was to write 3,000 words a week, which is going pretty well. First week hit it just fine. Second week, I have about 2,800, so a little short. I think part of the problem with that is because I was being a little bit too lenient with myself to say that I could do it all on the weekend, potentially, like if I don't have time during the week, because I do have a 9 to 5 job. So I was trying to be a little bit, you know, gentle with myself, which is fine. But I think I need to be a little bit more regular, a little bit more consistent on when I write. And I think that will help some of this blockage that's happening, some of this pressure, because I'm just writing more often. So I still have 3,000 words a week. That is the goal. But I need to put some words on page every day. So whether that be writing a short story every day or just starting to write something and adding to a little bit throughout the week, however that manifests. So to combat writer's block for me, I'm going to be writing a little bit every day. Some days probably more than others, which is great, but at least some kind of word count every day. And then beyond that, I have a few prompts that, I mean, you can find prompts everywhere, which I do think is really helpful. You know, you can have more detailed ones or just ones that sort of start things off. But I found a big list in a few different places actually, but just even a brief Google search will give you quite a few good prompts for something to just get an idea, get back into writing. So I found a few prompts that resonated with me, at least right now. So these are ones that I'm going to play with a little bit this week. So the personal essay prompts were my first pet, and I think I'm going to write it from my pet's perspective, which will be fun. My first pet was a rat named Rosa, and I'm going to write about her from her perspective. That should be fun. Uh, Writing about your first love and having some sort of, you know, it's hard to think about like something that happened to you without the lens of, you know, hindsight. So you're gonna have some kind of like lens about it, but I think that could be kind of fun, especially if it's more of a third party perspective kind of. So I don't know. That just sounds interesting. Plus, it's from so long ago, but I think it'll be fun. And then writing a personal essay about something that I tried and failed at, and what that was like, and how it felt, and how that's going. So those are a few personal essay prompts that just kind of resonated with me that I'm going to be playing with this week. And again, there are like boundless options, but those are just ones that I like right now. And then for a couple of like fictional stories that'll be sort of more fun. Um, these are just, again, a couple that resonated with me, but I found a mysterious treasure map. Just the prompt itself has very Goonies vibes, and that always sounds like a good time to me. Uh, this is one that I thought of. It's like I can't find my charger, but written in the way of the story of like if you give a mouse a cookie. If you remember, if anybody's read that one, but so, I can't find my charger, and then you have to da 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 da, and then it's circular, the charger at the end. So, anyways, that'll just be kind of fun. And then this one's a little bit more vague, but I have a secret. So again, I wrote the prompts like whatever, but it might be a character that I make up as a secret, and what it is and what happens. That sounds kind of fun. Basically, I think this act of practicing often will help me combat that pressure of every word needing to be the word and every story needing to be the story. Because sometimes you just need to get words out, especially for me who hasn't written in a long time. Because right now I'm just so out of practice, like the actual art of the storytelling is that's like I'm at the beginner level and that's mastery. I'm getting there. I hope to get back there eventually, but right now I have to remember that I'm building the blocks again. And so just the act of writing and putting my brain in that space and those things is still a win. And I don't need to put all this pressure on myself for things to be perfect right now, because they're nowhere near perfect, and that's okay. Lastly, I just kind of wanted to touch on how the 75 hard-ish challenge is going and some adjustments that I'm making for that. So the challenge, the water intake is going great. Doing great on drinking water. Good job, me. Not having any issue with that. Moving my body every day is also going pretty well, which is I'm thankful for, because since I've been at this desk job as my main gig for a while, and I was kind of worried I was getting a little too sedentary with that. So finding places in the day to go on walks or stretch or occasionally go on like a little run with my dog. Again, very occasional. I'd like to be a little bit more often, but I'm moving my body, which was the goal, and it's happening. So good job. Journaling every day is also going pretty well. For some reason, it's been easier to have less pressure on the journal, because a lot of times the journal entries are not very long. They're just a paragraph or two. And I feel fine about it. There's less mental pressure on that than the stories. So I just need to implement my journal brain into my writing brain. But the journaling's doing good. One video a week is going great. This is so fun. I love it. I love documenting it. I love having people to talk to about it, and just having something to hold me accountable to keep going is great. I find myself getting really excited about different video opportunities throughout the week, thinking about different things I want to do, which brings me to I'd like to start vlogging more rather than every time doing a sit down at the end of the week. I think having some vlogs and taking you guys along on some adventures would be fun. I also feel like I have a lot of great, maybe they're not so great, but in my head they feel kind of great thoughts while I'm driving, and I have to drive about 40 minutes each way to work. That's a lot of time to just share thoughts. So probably some vlog style I'd like to incorporate, but the video is going good. 3,000 words per week. First week, great. Second week, a little short. But as I talked about, I'm going to be writing every day to make that a little bit better going, I think. And finally, the 15 minutes of me time every morning, not going good. Not going good. I'm not an early riser. I want to be, but I'm just not. It's not who I am, and I need to accept that. So I'm going to give myself a little grace, and I'm going to adjust that to say 15 minutes of no screen time every day, preferably like before bed at some point. But just sort of a me time, no screen, no TV, no phone, just present. Whether that be self-reflection time or just like playing with my dog for a while. So we're going to adjust that because doing it in the morning before I go to work is not working for me right now. So we're adjusting, which is great. Thank you guys so much for following along, and I'll keep you posted as we get into week 3 of the 75 hard-ish challenge and how the writing is going. Talk to you next time.